I doubt whether you can see anything of me, but you have to take my word for it. Clock on there says 10:30, just gone 10:30. I don't think there's ever been a week that's tested my commitment to commuting than this week, where I've got to go into the uni. What is the point in even showing you that? I'll show you the stars whilst I talk to you up there. I've got to go into the uni 4 times this week, and 2 of those nights are late ones, like tonight. This is Monday. We got some pre-production for a gig that's happening on Wednesday, so it'll be another late night, probably even later than this one, and my normal lecture hours around that, and then hopefully that'll be about 200k of commuting, and then and some late nights, and then finally get a little bit of a rest on Friday before heading down to Bridgewater to then ride 77, 78, 80 plus, I don't know, kilometres of the GB Duro. So this is it. I've got to stick to this, haven't I? You know, it's not just fair weather and daytime riding, commuting, it's these late nights too. And I have to say, it's been quite pleasant, if I'm completely honest. I probably only had about 2 or 3 cars go past me, but I am looking forward to getting home and having, I don't know, a glass of milk and going to bed, because I've got to get up and go back into the headwind, which weirdly we've got at the minute. We've got a northeasterly, so I'm getting rather a pleasant tailwind home, which I must say, after a night like tonight, very well deserved. Right, let's get home. Following that late Monday night, Tuesday was a normal commute, but I rode into a fantastic sunset. Wednesday was the night of the gig, so 8 hours of lectures followed by stage managing probably one of the slickest gigs I've ever been involved in my 30 plus years. 9 bands performing brilliantly, then into my cycling kit to ride home. The unusual northeasterly gave me a welcome shove home, and I climbed into bed around midnight. Then a normal hours in and out commute. Thursday brought me up to 200 kilometres of commuting. I took Friday off any exercise, as Saturday was an early start to catch the train to Bridgewater for a GB Divide recon. But this video is about commuting, so you'll have to wait to hear about that. But that took me up to a very reasonable 289 kilometres for those 7 days. The following week of commute tested me in a different way. Lower mileage, normal hours, but not quite what I was expecting. We rarely get snow out this way. Tuesday's ride in and out was unremarkable, but on Wednesday we woke up to snow. It was very pretty, but slightly chilly ride into work, and I didn't see many other tyre tracks in the snow that day, but swapping out my road tyres for some grippier off-road tyres made it safer, if not considerably slower. In fact, it's the slowest I've ever commuted to work. It took nearly 85 minutes, and I spent the rest of the day feeling quietly smug that I got in under my own steam. I arrived at work a little cold in the old fingers and toes, but seemingly in far better shape than some of my colleagues who looked like they'd travelled from the outer reaches of Keffler Club and Ireland, and they didn't seem all that happy about it. There was also a little surprise that I'd still ridden in, and I get that. I'm not in any way being flippant, but at the end of the day, people do things that I think are crazy, but that's founded entirely on the fact that I've never done it myself. It's my perception of something, not my knowledge that it's based on. If people tried it, they'd find it's not as bad as they think. Far from it. It's actually amazing fun. A little bit of easy exercise, fresh air, no congestion, no parking woes, what's not to like? I'd take a little bit of occasional discomfort over the stress, cost and hostility of a car or bus commute any day. My final ride of the week pretty much was the toughest of the lot. Rain, proper heavy rain and wind, and honestly it wasn't very pleasant. Having to dry kit at work is always a challenge, but not impossible. There's nothing worse than having to put on wet kit to ride home. Actually, there is. Getting a double puncture on a busy road on the very last section before home is a challenge to the morale. So look, for me, driving to work isn't an option for many reasons. Single occupancy vehicles for a commute are a financial and environmental no-go. They should be for everybody that doesn't need to transport lots of equipment, which I've certainly had to do in my career, so I do get that. The bus is now a lot cheaper than it was at £4 per return, so not the money saver it was when it was nearly £7, but it takes as long as riding and I find it pretty uncomfortable and stress-inducing. In the last 6 weeks of the semester, I've ridden in on all but one morning, ironically, because I had to get the train to see Mark Beaumont speak. I did look at the feasibility of riding my bike, but on the train in good old Trainland, it's seemingly impossible to guarantee a bike space. Since we started this semester 6 weeks ago, I've averaged 205 kilometres a week, the majority of which has been commuting, and I've always been an advocate of human-powered commuting, but I now feel almost evangelical about it. There are very few reasons why most people can't ride to work. My journey is 26 kilometres into work, and obviously the same back, and it takes 60 to 70 minutes depending on how I'm feeling, the weather, the wind, or how I'm using it to train, but mostly it's very easy and very enjoyable. I'm going to make a video on some top tips on how to make bike commuting easy. So if you're on the fence, make the jump like so many others have recently and get on your bike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell below so that you don't miss that video. And leave a comment below on whether you have or are thinking about commuting to work. Give me a thumbs up, it massively helps the channel. And until the next video, take good care of yourselves.